My name's Scott Shaw. I grew up in San Diego, although I was born in New York City, but I consider myself a San Diegan. And I was one of the kids that started ComicCon in San Diego in 1970 was our first one-day one, which doesn't really get acknowledged, but the three-day one was the same year later in August. But I was one of the kids that helped start it back in '68.
What led you to do this?
Well, I'm a professional cartoonist, and therefore I was an aspiring cartoonist. And a lot of my friends in high school were also aspiring creators or scientists. I went to Crawford High School here in San Diego, and we had a lot of nerds. So many that nobody beat up on us. We really kind of stood up for ourselves. One was Greg Bear, the science fiction author, Roger Friedman, the scientist, John Pound, the illustrator, and myself. And we all wound up doing what we wanted to do. But we were in a group that wound up, I kind of introduced them to another group who were all collectors and dealers of old comic books. We also collected comics, but we more wanted to write and draw comics or books or movies or whatever. So when the two got together, that's when it really took off. And before too long, we had our first convention, which was 300 people in the basement of the U.S. Grand Hotel downtown San Diego, which at the time was not nearly as nice as it is now. And yet, even they didn't want us because they felt, well, they were right. We were all a bunch of kids. And I think maybe a couple were adults, and a few of the dealers were adults. But for the most part, they didn't want us because we couldn't drink, so there wouldn't be a big bar tab. And even if we could drink, we wouldn't have cared. We wanted comic books, you know. I one time went into a little bookstore in Hillcrest where I used to shop a lot when I was a kid. And the guy wasn't being creepy, but the owner said, he goes, "You always want comics and pulp magazines and old paperback books. Don't you want any books with naked girls in them?" And my answer was, you can get those anywhere. I don't, you know, no big deal. You know, it's like I want some weird old fantasy. So there were a lot of us in San Diego back then, and of course even more now.
How do you feel about how it's grown and become more diverse and just bigger?
Well, I worked in the business of why the con got so out of control, because I worked in advertising for many years as well as animation and comic books. And I think the problem is marketing now runs the world. Marketing is like the big bully that nobody really acknowledges. We don't have to be nervous about entertainment, but now we are. Oh, I missed the new Spider-Man movie. What's going to happen? And it's like people are almost made to feel like they're not cool if they're not taking in all of this stuff at once. It's impossible. And you know, we have a lot to pay attention to in reality right now. So even me, I'm kind of watching the news more than cartoon shows for the first time in my life. But it's changed, but there are more women here. That's the best part. And I'm not saying that from a lecherous point of view. I never understood why there weren't as many women as men that were interested in this stuff until I got older and realized so much of the stuff is two guys and wearing their underwear on the outside punching each other. No wonder women aren't interested in it. But now there's so much other stuff, and women now are writing superhero stuff where they're not punching each other all the time. It's a real nice thing, because you used to see guys dragging their bored girlfriend around. Now you see women dragging their bored boyfriend around, which is just what I like to see.